Tonight, Celebrity Millennium receives a grand welcome as the first cruise ship to call into Port Castries in just over a year. Vendors cautiously optimistic about the return of cruise tourism, and over 2,000 students sit what will be the last common entrance examination to be administered on island. The details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Tuesday, the 29th of June, 2021. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. Tourists aboard the Celebrity Millennium are counting themselves lucky to be part of the first group of cruise travelers to return to the Caribbean. After 15 months of being unable to travel to the region, visitors say that they are eager to explore what the island has to offer. They say that if the COVID-19 pandemic has taught them anything, it's that life and business will pick itself up again. Nisha Charles reports.
The last of the tourism subsector to reopen, the cruise subsector, is rebounding, and it is breathing new life in the Caribbean economies. Well, that's what is hoped will be achieved once visitors steadily return to the island, bringing in that much-needed tourism dollar. The first group of cruise passengers disembarked on Tuesday and are thrilled to be in the Caribbean once more. The U.S. travelers say that returning to the region means more than just a vacation.
I know the pandemic, people were dying because of the pandemic, but they were also dying to meet each other. So this is a great moment when the ship is coming, the energy's back, and just the way everything shut down so quickly with the pandemic, I think it'll open up and you'll have life again and tourists and vibrancy and color back in this island. So this is my first time here. It's beautiful. We were looking at the ship and we were like so excited. So yeah, they're coming to your shops, they're coming to your restaurants.
While safety remains of paramount importance to this tourist, she says that the protocols will not deter her from enjoying what the island has to offer.
This is our first time here, but we've been through other islands, and the experience is a little different because you have to be careful. You got to carry your sanitizer, wear your mask, but being out in the open, we're comfortable. We're at the beaches, we're social distancing, so we're feeling comfortable. And Christopher's assured us he's vaccinated, we're vaccinated, so we're just trying to play it safe and just use common sense.
Dan Schwartz says he feels like a pioneer during this COVID-19 era.
We've been itching to travel for like 15 months now, and we're glad to be here. And hopefully, I imagine the cruise ship is going to use us as ambassadors to go back and tell everyone that it's safe to travel again, and we're really glad to be here.
The bulk of the cruise visitors to St. Lucia this season is expected between August and October. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
The return of cruise tourism to St. Lucia is leaving no subsector untouched, as many who work within the tourism sector were out on Tuesday to welcome the first cruise vessel for the season, Celebrity Millennium. Local officials have been eager for the resumption of cruise tourism, and on Tuesday, those on board the ship as well as locals shared in the jubilation.
As St. Lucia welcomed its first cruise vessel in over 15 months, tourism officials say that it is a monumental feat. Celebrity Millennium called into Port Castries at about 8 a.m. Tuesday. There to welcome the crew and passengers was Prime Minister Alan Chastanet, who said that this could not have happened without the collaboration of the cruise lines.
I want to thank all of the executives at Royal Caribbean for working with us, having confidence in St. Lucia, and allowing us to be one of the first destinations that they return to. And again, St. Lucia is one of the top cruise ship destinations, and today we've proven how important that is in our negotiations.
With about 400 passengers on board the Celebrity Millennium, its captain was excited to travel the waters again and to be accepted by St. Lucia.
Be back in St. Lucia after 7 years myself and be the first ship that will coming in service for Celebrity and for the industry in North America. So the feeling is amazing, is extraordinary. Everybody feel amazing, our guests and the crew, and we are excited and thankful that you are accept us in your island. Thank you so much, and looking forward for many more nice things to come.
According to the island's tourism minister, since the partial reopening of its tourism sector in July 2020, St. Lucia has done well for itself, with some 43,000 stayover arrivals. Prime Minister Shastney said that trend is expected to continue.
And I think you had something like 14,300 U.S. arrivals in the month of May. I believe that number is going to exceed 18,000. And certainly with the protocols in place, a lot of taxi drivers, particularly in the south and the north, have seen a recovery. And what's exciting is that we, I believe, are close to getting onto the UK Green List.
Tourism workers were also there to greet the passengers and ready to get in on the action.
After 15 months, we are back. We are ready to work. We want to thank God for giving us the strength to be back at work. And of course, we are all here to ensure that guests have a fun-filled day and of course to exceed the expectations.
The Celebrity Millennium sails from Athens, Greece. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
A taxi driver has expressed elation about the return of a cruise ship to Port Castries. He is eager for the opportunity to make a decent living in the months ahead.
Celebrity Millennium berthed in Port Castries on Tuesday morning. 400 passengers were on board the vessel. The cruise visitors disembarked and were welcomed on island after 15 months of closure of the cruise sector. Taxi driver David Christopher says words are not enough to express how grateful he and other taxi drivers feel for the resumption of activity that determines their livelihood.
We're very happy to welcome the Millennium. It's 15 months we haven't worked, so most of the members is very elated that we see the boat today. This is the first taxi we'll be going down to Soufrière. We're doing the Soufrière tour. We're going to show them the beautiful pitons. We'll be doing the Turtle Waterfalls, and we'll be doing the Marigot Bay and a few other stops on the way down. They are very excited also to be with me today. So we watch and see how things will pan out, and we hope that the rest of the boats, as the cruise ships as they comes to our port, that we can benefit something. As I said, it's 15 months. This taxi hasn't worked, so I'm very happy today that something happened for us,
Christopher, however, explained that they are still very aware that the situation with COVID-19 is still imminent. As such, all precautions will be taken to ensure that protocols are adhered to.
Well, the protocol is in high effect because everybody here is vaccinated. Everybody is vaccinated. I myself is vaccinated. And we have the social distance in the vehicle. If you know, there's only 4 persons in a 15-seater. We sanitize, we all masked up, so we're keeping the protocol, and it's my duty to make sure I take care of these guests and bring them back in one piece and not pieces.
Celebrity Millennium is the first of many cruise ships that are expected to berth in St. Lucia's ports. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Thank you, Genevieve. Tasha Augustine, a vendor at the arcade, says she is cautiously optimistic about the return of cruise tourism to St. Lucia. She warns that discussion and coordination is needed at this crucial time if vendors at the arcade are to see the benefits that they so desperately need after months of being on the breadline. She noted that things have started out slowly and quietly, but she was quick to add that this was expected. She says there is hope that things will indeed pick up.
Well, the people come down, but they're not buying. But still, I'm not open, but still, I'm happy that we're open, that we know where we're going to get the next dollar. Tomorrow we know where we're going to come to hustle for $1. So it's good.
She says the officials who oversee the tourism sector have work to do to help ensure that the tourism dollar trickles down to vendors and artisans. This, she says, has to be a collaborative effort.
Well, as long as protocols are in place, I think things will be better, and the association has to come together and then make things happen so that we know, merge with the hoteliers, and then we know that tourists will come to the arcade and support us. But if it's like we're on our own, and then when the boat days come, half of the vendors are not vaccinated, so I don't know how it's going to be. But if they put protocols in place, I think it will be okay.
That was a vendor at the arcade, Tasha Augustine. You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us, still to come. 2 tropical waves show signs of development. Schools hope for the best in this year's Common Entrance examination. And Philip JPS speaks following clashes between SLP and UWP supporters. That and more after the break.